students, myself Pushpalata. I am going to teach you today the standard 8, that fifth lesson inside the atoms. So before moving towards the lesson, let us see some important questions. What is an atom? Atoms are the smallest particles of matter. What is an element? Elements are made up of only one type of atom. What is a molecule? Molecules are combination of atoms. For example, hydrogen molecule. Okay. Then what is an compound? Compound are made up of different types of atoms. For example, HCl. Okay. So hydrogen and chlorine is used in that compound. So this is all about some basic concepts. Now next is, do you know, let us see the inside the atom. Okay. So do you know, philosopher Kanad 6th century BC stated that there is a limit to divide matter into a small particles. The indivisible particles that constitute matter were named by Kanad Muni as Parmanu, meaning the smallest particles. He also stated that Parmanu is indestructible. That means that Parmanu is not divisible. Then Greek philosopher Democritus 5th century BC stated that matter is made up of small particles and this cannot be divided. The smallest particle of matter was named by Democritus as atom, which is given this name atom from the atomos. Atomos means what? The one which cannot be cut, that is which cannot be divided into a two or many. Okay. So in the modern times, scientists on the basis of experiment explain the nature of atom as well as the internal structure of the atom. It started with the Dalton's atomic theory. So let us see that Dalton's atomic theory. British scientist John Dalton put forth in 1803 AD his celebrated atomic theory. According to this theory, matter is made up of atoms, and atoms are indivisible and indestructible. All the atoms of elements are alike, while different elements have different atoms with different mass. So he put forth his that theory, and in that he stated the point that atoms are indivisible and indestructible. So that is most important point. Take a solid ball and a bundi laddu. Press both these spheres with your palm. What did you find? Cut the solid ball with a sharp knife and observe what did you find. Okay. So let us see that. Try this. Okay. A bundi laddu is found to have an internal structure. If you press that with the help of your palm, it is formed by sticking smaller. You can find that it is formed by a sticking smaller particle, that is bundis. Okay, that each bundi is stick to each other and they form the bundi laddu. However, the solid ball, broadly speaking, does not have any internal structure. The atom as described by Dalton turns out to be a hard, solid sphere with no internal structure. That Dalton stated that the atoms having does not have any internal structure. It is only a solid sphere with no internal structure. According to Dalton's atomic theory, the mass is distributed uniformly in an atom. So this is one of the most important point, that the mass is distributed uniformly in an atom. So that scientist J.J. Thomson demonstrated experimentally that the negatively charged particles inside an atom have a mass 1800 times less than a hydrogen atom. Later, these particles were named as electrons. Okay. So common substances are usually electrically neutral. Obviously, molecules of substances and the atom which combines chemically to form a molecules are electrically neutral. How is an atom electrically neutral in spite of having a negatively charged electrons in it? Thomson overcame this difficulty by putting forth the plum pudding model of atomic structure. So let us see that plum pudding model of atom. Thomson, the plum pudding model of atom. So the plum pudding model of atom put forth by Thomson in the year 1904 is the first model of atomic structure. According to this model, the positive charge is distributed throughout the atom as shown in the figure, and the negatively charged electrons are embedded in it. The distributed positive charge is balanced with the negative charge, and hence the atom becomes electrically neutral. The Thomson plum pudding model is compared with the watermelon. That Thomson compare his model, atomic model, with the watermelon. As in the watermelon, the red part is there, red pulp is there. That pulp is act as a positive charge, and the seeds embedded in that pulp acts as a electron, okay, negative charge. So why the atom becomes electrically neutral? Because the positive charge is balanced with the negative charge, and hence the atom becomes electrically neutral. Next is, there is a positively charged nucleus. Before that, let us see that Rutherford's nuclear model of atom. Okay, so Rutherford studied the inside of atom by his celebrated scattering experiment. Put forth the nuclear model of an atom in the year 1911. So he took a very thin gold foil for that experiment and bombarded it with the positively charged alpha particles emitted by the radioactive substance. He observed the path of the alpha particles by means of fluorescent screen around the gold foil. It was expected that the alpha particles would get reflected from the gold foil if the positively charged mass were evenly distributed. If the positively charged is evenly distributed, that means what? What expected from that? The alpha particles would get reflected from the gold foil inside the atom. Unexpectedly, most of the alpha particles went straight through the foil. A small number of alpha particles get deflected from the original path through a small angle. A still smaller number of alpha particles get deflected through a larger angle. Surprisingly, one alpha particle out of 20,000 bounced back in the direction opposite to the original path. Okay, from this we can say that from this experiment they are given 2 points. What is the first point? A large number of the alpha particles that went straight through the foil. What that indicates? That indicates that there was no obstacle, and it means that there must be an empty space inside the atom, in the solid, that gold foil. Now the small number of that second point was, the small number of alpha particles are get deflected through a small or a big angle, must be have a face an obstacle in their path. Why they are deflected? Because there are some obstruction, and what that indicates, it means that the positively charged and heavy part causing obstruction would be in the center of the atom. Okay, so there are that 2 points, and from this Rutherford put forth a nuclear model of atom as follows. Okay, so he put forth his nuclear model of atom, or put forth some postulate. Let us see that there is a positively charged nucleus at the center of the atom, of an atom. First point was, there is a positively charged nucleus. Second one, almost the entire mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. The mass of the atom is concentrated in the nucleus. Third one, negatively charged particles are called as the electrons revolve around the nucleus. Then fourth one, the total negative charge on all the electron is equal to the positive charge on the nucleus, and as the opposite charges are balanced, and hence the atom is electrically neutral. He also stated that atom is electrically neutral. Now fifth one is what? There is empty space between the revolving electrons and the atomic nucleus. So he gives that all postulates, we can say that, or points of Rutherford. Okay. So next one is use your brain power. From now we discuss the Dalton's atomic theory, Thomson's atomic theory, and the Rutherford's atomic theory or model. So from this we discovered, it point out that an atom has internal structure. So first, that Thomson's atomic model discovered that an atom has internal structure. Okay. Then second one, what is the difference between the solid atom in Dalton's atomic theory and Thomson atomic theory? What is the difference between that both theories? The Dalton atomic theory explained atom is a hard sphere, while Thomson's atomic theory explains what? That atom has a plum pudding model. Okay. Now next question is what? Explain the difference between the distribution of positive charge in Thomson's atomic model and Rutherford's atomic model. In Thomson's model, the positive charge is distributed, and in Rutherford model, the positive charge is in the nucleus. Next question, what is the point difference between the place of electrons in the atomic models of Thomson's and Rutherford? So in Thomson's model, electrons are embedded in positive charge, as we discussed the example of watermelon. Okay, the electrons or that electrons are embedded in the positive charge, while in Rutherford's model, electrons are revolve around the nucleus. So this is the difference. Now next question and the last question is, what is the thing which is present in Rutherford atomic model and not present in Dalton's and Thomson's atomic model? So Rutherford explained empty space between electrons and nucleus, which is not given by Thomson and the Dalton atomic model. Here are the some questions, okay, on the basis of that atomic theories. Now next atomic theory is what? Bohr's stable orbit atomic model. So in the year 1913, Danish scientist Niels Bohr explained the stability of atom by putting forth stable orbit atomic model. Okay, so orbit means what he gives orbit. Okay, so let us see in that theory. The important postulates of Bohr's atomic models are as follows. So are as here given. The first one, what? Electrons revolving around the atomic nucleus lie in the concentric circular orbit at certain distance from the nucleus. As the Rutherford says that electrons are revolve around the nucleus. But what Bohr's stated here, the electrons revolve around the atomic nucleus, lie in the concentric circular orbit at a certain distance from the nucleus. Second one is, energy of an electron is constant while it is in a particular orbit. That means here the particular orbit having the particular energy of an electron. Okay. Third one is, when an electron jumps from an inner orbit to the outer orbit, it absorbs energy equal to the difference of its energy level. Okay, and when it jumps from outer orbit to the inner orbit, it emits energy as to the difference of its energy level. So these are some points put forth by the Bose atomic theory. Now next one is, do you know when table salt, that is sodium chloride NaCl, is thrown on LPG gas stove flame, immediately yellow spark form on that place. You can observe here that flame. If sodium metal put in water, it burns to give yellow flame. On road, sodium vapor lamp gives yellow color light. From all above the example, here you can observe here, if the sodium metal kept in a water, that means it give yellow flame. Okay. From this all example, the electrons of sodium absorb energy and goes to the outermost cell and come back to the inner cell by emitting energy. So this is example according to the Bohr's theory. Okay, so difference of energy level of these two cells of sodium is fixed. This difference is similar to energy of yellow light. Therefore, in the above example, same specific yellow light emitted. Okay, so this is about that examples or that postulates, and that examples are depending on that Bohr's postulates. Now next part of the lesson is the atomic structure. So an atom is formed from the nucleus and the extranuclear part. These contain three types of subatomic particles. That means the atoms are formed from the two parts, that is nucleus and the extranuclear part. And in that nucleus there are the three subatomic particles. So let us see which are they. So nucleus, the atomic nucleus is positively charged. At almost entire mass of an atom is concentrated in the nucleus. The nucleus contains two types of subatomic particles together called nucleon. The protons and the neutrons are the two types of nucleons. So the proton and neutron both are present in the nucleus, and together they are called as a nucleon. Okay, so let us see the proton. Proton is a positively, here you can observe the figure. Okay, proton is the positively charged subatomic particles which is present in the nucleus. The positive charge on the nucleus is due to the proton in it. A proton is represented by the symbol P. Each proton carries a positive charge. Okay, the number of protons atom in the atomic number of that element, and it is denoted by the Z. That means the number of protons present is called as the atomic number of that particular element, and it is denoted by Z. The mass of one proton is approximately 1 mu, that is 1 Dalton. Okay, the mass of one hydrogen atom is also approximately 1 mu, that is 1 Dalton. So this is about the proton. Next is neutron. Neutron is electrically neutral subatomic particle. As we discussed that neutron does not have any charge, that means it is neutral subatomic particle and is denoted by symbol N. Okay, the number of neutron in the nucleus is denoted by the symbol N. Atomic nuclei of all elements except hydrogen with atomic mass 1 Dalton contain neutrons. The mass of neutron is approximately 1 mu. which is almost equal to that of the proton. Okay, so here given some information about the neutron. The second part of the atom is extranuclear part. The extranuclear part in the atomic structure includes electrons revolving around the nucleus and the empty space in between the nucleus and the electrons. Okay, now here electron is a negatively charged particle, subatomic particles is denoted by symbol E negative. Okay, each electron carries 1 unit of negative charge. Each electron carries a 1 negative charge, 1 unit negative charge. Mass of electron is 1800 times less than that of the hydrogen atom. Therefore, the mass of electrons can be treated as negligible as compared to the other. So, electrons in the extranuclear part revolve in the discrete orbit around the nucleus. The orbit being three-dimensional in nature, a term as shell, and that orbit is called as a shell, which is used instead of the term orbit. The energy of the electron is determined by the shell in which it is present. The number of electron in the extranuclear part is equal to the number of proton in the nucleus. Okay, that means the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Therefore, they are electrically, charges are balanced, and therefore we can say that atom is electrically neutral. Okay, so here all about the extranuclear part and the atom and the nucleus. Now next is the mass of an electron being negligible. Therefore, the mass of an atom is mainly due to the protons and the neutrons in its nucleus. The total number of protons and neutrons in an atom is the atomic mass number. What is the definition of atomic mass number? The total number of protons and neutrons in an atom. The mass number is denoted by symbol A. The conventional to denote atomic symbol, atomic number and mass number are together is shown as follows. Here given. The atomic symbol here, as you shown in seen in the picture, that X is the atomic symbol, capital A as a mass number, Z as an atomic number. Now the for example is given as carbon 12 6. Okay, 6 is the atomic number of the carbon, 12 is the atomic mass number of the carbon. Next is here given some example of fluorine, that fluorine having how to find the number of protons, how to find the number of neutrons, how to find number of electrons, atomic number and mass number, if atomic number and mass number is given there. Okay, as we know that the number of protons and the number of neutrons equal if we take that addition of the protons and the neutrons, we get a atomic mass number, and if the number of electrons is equal to number of protons means what? The atomic number. So 9 here the number of electrons and the number of protons, and 10 here the remaining number of neutron. Okay, and in the next here yellow color chart, they are given elements having atomic number, their mass number and the symbol, and how to write in the form of atomic mass number and the atomic number. Now next is distribution of electrons. As per Bohr's atomic model, electrons revolve in stable shell. These cells have a definite energy. The cell nearest to the nucleus is called as the first cell. Here you can observe in the picture the first shell, okay, K, L, M, N. The first shell is K, second one is L, M and N. Okay, and their number is the first, second, third, fourth as this. The maximum number of electron a shell can contain is can contain is obtained by a formula that is 2n square. So how many electrons are present in each shell? How can we obtain that from this formula 2n square? N is what? That number of shell. Now here given the that table, in that you can observe their maximum number of electrons per shell. Okay, in first shell that is 2, then second 8, third 18, and fourth is the 32. Now next and the last part is the homework. First is question is that draw following diagrams. First is the Dalton's atomic model of atom. B. Thomson's plum pudding model of atom. C. Rutherford's scattering experiment. D. Rutherford's nuclear atomic model. And E. Bohr's stable orbit atomic model. You have to draw that all diagram in your HW. Now question number 2 is complete the table of distribution of electrons given on page number 32 of science textbook. So as we discuss here the distribution of electrons with the help of the 2n square formula. So you have to complete that table and write down in the your HW. Here we complete the first part of this lesson. Now let us see the second part in the second session.